Hey family, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Talking After Dark. I have a real live topic for you today, and that topic being what's really important when it comes to love. That love leads to marriage, or that love allows you to live in a relationship merely of convenience. Convenience being that you live at your house, I live at my house, we see each other when we can, we go where we go, when we go, we do what we do when we do. Uh, I'm not so sure if that is considered to be a commitment or is that just convenience. To me, it sounds like an option factor because as long as there's an option, you tend to utilize those options at your convenience. So if you have an old friend come to town or ex lover or ex spouse or whatever that might be, that you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go out with Roy tonight or Vivian because they're gonna be in town for a week, so I'm gonna spend that time with them. And the person that you're in this relationship with, they'll understand. Well, will they? Would you? So if you were married and that person came to town and you wanted to see that person, your ex, would you tell the person that you're with, that you're married to, that you have an ex friend that's coming to town and you want to spend some time with them? My question is, where to do that at? Or would you even have the conversation with them that is a consideration of yours, that you know that you're just friends and you would like to spend some time with them? You just go and hang out at lunch, or you're just gonna go to dinner with them or whatever. Is that acceptable? Would you want that to be acceptable to your mate, or would it be acceptable to you? We live in a totally different world today. The world that we live in today, things are nothing like they used to be, especially when it comes to the dating game. Most women today have everything that they need or used to need from a man. They have their own security, they have their own homes, they have their own money, they have their own retirements, they have their own everything. So they don't need a man. So they have to want a man. But men somehow or another, for their own manhood or humanity, they need to be wanted, not just needed. Women, on the other hand, they can do without. They can have you because they want you, or they can have you because they need you, or they can have you not at all because, as they see it, they have everything they need. All they need is somebody to lay next to them and have physical contact with at their convenience. So is it really important to you, now that you have everything that you need, that you no longer need a man because the materialistic things of life you can provide for yourself? And if you say yes to that, so my question to you would be this: is that all you ever needed a man for? Was just to be a provider, just to give you those things, and not so much a relationship, a love affair, or a connection with family, or a connection with God? Some people say today that if you've been married before and you have children, you've had a wife already, you have a family already, so what would the need be to have that again, since you already have that, or had it, I should say? Is it even important to you that the relationship that you're in exists merely out of and from something else? Are you okay with the fact that you have your house and he has his house and you guys see each other when you can? Or perhaps you guys, out of 7 days out of the week, he stays at your house 3 days out the week, you stay at his house 4 days out the week. Isn't that marriage? Isn't that just like a marriage? So why won't you guys just get married? Does that piece of paper bother you that much that you would just rather live a life like this than to do what is normal and customary. Oh, I forgot. We live in a world where culture says you don't have to do that because you don't have to get married. You can take your love and live on the run with it. You can take it or you can leave it. I'm not so sure if that will work for me. If I love you enough to be with you that much and to spend that kind of time with you and to give you that much of my heart, that much of my life, then yes, of course, I want you to be my wife. It is not an attempt to change who you are or snatch away your identity from you. I want you to be exactly who you are, exactly who you need to be, and I want to be able to support you in all that you do by any means necessary. Whatever I need to do to help you complete your life, to make your life what you want it to be. Marriage is not supposed to be the kind of thing that you have to give up on yourself in totality to become in partnership with somebody else. That's not what it means. If you get married at some point in life and it's always been your passion to open up your own restaurant or to go back to school or to become a Sunday school teacher, you should be able to still do all those things. Every one of them. Being married to someone should not take that from you. It should allow you to have somebody to support you and push you forward to make sure that you do all those things that you want to do and need to do. Having somebody like that in your life is only going to enhance what it is that you want to do and how it is you want to live. They're not going to take that away from you. If they do, then certainly that's not the person for you. Because everybody has an idea of what they want and what they need in their life. Everybody does. And hopefully, if you make the decision to marry someone, you have married someone who is going to support your ideas, who is going to support your endeavors, who is going to support your dreams and help you to live them out loud. And that you would do the same for them. People get divorced a lot of times because they don't allow their mates to live their dreams. They keep them in a box. They keep them in a place where they feel smothered, where they feel like they can't be who they want, who they need to be. And when people stop being who they need to be, they stop loving you the way that you need to be loved because they feel like you are robbing them and you are stealing from them the best part of their lives. God has given each of us a time limit to live this life. That might be 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, even 50 years. So and it's unbeknown to us what that looks like or when that timeline is. So we spend worlds of time wasting time on foolishness. And I say foolishness because we allow culture nowadays to dictate to us how we're going to live, what we're going to wear, where we're going to go, what's the topic of the day, what's the subject matter, what's the rule of the day, what's the thoughts of the day. And we forget that there was never a problem with the basics. Of course, some things needed to be tweaked. Some things need to be this, that, or the other. But that's an individual thing that you can fix and that you can do conjointly to make sure that you guys are living your best life. At some point, we're all going to get old and we're all going to want somebody to be there with us for that part of the vows that says for sickness and in health. Nobody wants to be home alone when they're sick and in bad health without someone that truly loves them, taking care of them until their dying day. You can be as bad a man, as bad a woman as you want to be. You can have all the finest clothes, all the letters behind your name, all the money in the bank. But I can assure you, when the day and the time comes that God punches your time clock on the outside with checking you out, you are not going to take any of that with you. You though you think it's important to you that because you have great resources or you have things like that that are supposed to make a difference, who's to make a difference to other than you? Love is not supposed to be a competition for materialistic things. You guys should live your lives each day making sure that the person that you with don't love you more, I'll love you. You should give your best every day to your partner, to your significant other, to make sure that they don't love you today more than you love them. If you did that and they did that, guess what? Each of you guys will receive the amount of love that you need to keep you whole and to keep you connected and committed to each other, without thinking that the grass is in the greener on the other side, or that you can do bad by yourself. Nobody has to get married. Nobody has to be in a relationship. But God didn't put us here to be alone. He really didn't. He put us here all to be in a relationship with someone. But if we're going to live like we're married, why can't we be married? Unless, of course, we need to explore the options that are available to us by living in a relationship of convenience, where we can do what we want to do and see who we want to see and go and come like we want to. Is that really what you want to do? Is that really best for you? And if it is, for how long? At what age is it even important to you or not important to you? As we get into these the age of 50, 60, 70 years old, when do you get to the point that you don't need those options? You just need somebody to love you like you need to be loved. You just need somebody to treat you like you needed to be treated. You just need somebody to have your back. You just need somebody to be there with you, to conversate with, to help you, to hold you up. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a little old too fashioned for the way things are today. But then if that's the case, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. At 61 years old, the options that were available to me that are still are not as important to me as it is of being in a committed relationship, knowing that the person that I'm with is the person that is for me. I love them. They love me. We got each other's back. We support each other on a daily basis. We are there for each other, and we're committed to each other. I don't see it any other way. I know that people say a lot of things because a lot of things are available to us now. Relationships, men, women, women and women, men and men. The relationships are available to us in so many different avenues, so many different ways. We don't mind trying this and we don't mind trying that. At what age do we reach the age of enlightenment? The age of that we are where we want to be. We are where we need to be. We are with who we want to be with, and that we love this person enough to live out loud with them. We don't need um, options. We just need commitment. We just need somebody that's able to be there for us and with us, that we can love, that love us. You know how hard it is nowadays to find somebody to build a relationship with, to fall in love with them, to figure out if that's the person you want to marry. When we were 30 years old, I mean, you had all the time in the world to figure that out. At some point, we really didn't know what we wanted. All we knew is that we wanted to be married, we wanted to be in love, we wanted to be in that kind of a relationship. Time was on our side. But as we have gotten older nowadays, and as we have gotten to the point now that we just don't have the availability of time to do all. I'm not saying that we should be rushing into anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I do believe that we are at the age that we know what we want. We know. We know what that looks like. We know what it feels like. We know what it tastes like. We know. And we know what God expects of us. We can no longer use the excuses about, I don't know. Yes, you do. You know. And if the person that you meet is not what you want, don't waste their time and don't waste your time, because obviously they are good for somebody else out there. Let them go and have what's out there for them while you continue to seek what's good for you. How about that? Does that make sense to you? It should. Because if God provided someone for everyone, that means each of us has someone out there for us. Sometimes it's not in the same city or state that you live in. Sometimes it's elsewhere. We meet people all the time, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, as we travel about. Sometimes the person that's best suited for you is not the person living in your township. It's not the person living in your neighborhood.